I think that's plenty.
So yeah, man, go back to like talking about how first time we met.
Oh yeah, at the Bitcoin meetup.
Uh-huh.
First one I went to, I was a little skeptical, but yeah, once it was over, Aladdin gave a presentation on like the Bitcoin trading cards, which got my nephews those for Christmas. They absolutely loved it.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
No, I was glad they were into it. I'm always trying to like turn them on to stuff and pique their curiosity, get them out of Roblox and Minecraft, just for a minute. Excuse me.
No, you're good.
But yeah, no, we met. We just started talking after,
and
we just like immediately went into like the whole like question of everything, And
yeah, there was this definite connection between us. That is, you understand everything I do understand, and you have the same resolution or like the same conclusion about like the same stuff. It's like, what else do you know? It's like,
no, it was really interesting because you were very open and willing to talk, and I was more in a listening mode. And I was like, okay, let's see what this guy's got to say. He's obviously got some energy right now. He's interested and wants to talk, and I'm here to like hear, And yeah, it felt like you were saying all the things that I thought, and I was like, okay, this is
legit.
I'm not crazy. This feels so good. I'm not the only one,
Who thinks that way, right?
Yeah, I'm not the only one that thinks that way.
Which is true, man.
Yeah.
It is so interesting that with our backgrounds and who we are.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so insane that we even come up to the same conclusions and ideas on like almost everything. I haven't found on one thing with this dude that I disagree about, like major concepts or beliefs or a way or stuff like that.
I'm sure we could find something, but I don't think either of us would really care.
That's what I'm talking about, because the common part is like a lot more common than the uncommon. You know what I'm talking about? The areas of interest and like the areas that we're really elaborately can not only explain to each other how it the missing gaps in understanding each subject, but also like the way you're supposed to, because each subject is like a question at first, right? And then you're supposed to make peace with it. And then like you understand what is the concept behind it and the dynamic. And I think talking to more people who have the same knowledge and even better knowledge than you are on like the same topic help your own perception about that topic immensely. And that's what Dillan doing. He was, for me, literally was changing, not changing, but completing my understanding of different concepts. Yeah,
I think that's a lot when we're talking, because we are coming from different perspectives, but I think we do think very similar. And it's interesting hearing it come from a completely other angle that's foreign almost, but sounds exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I think that's always helpful, right? Because you have your, everyone knows their story. Everyone knows how they came to think this way about this thing, and they have their reasons. But to have someone else come to the same thing, but have a completely different path, it helps you understand things a little bit better.
Yeah, it just shows you it doesn't matter where you've been in life. If you're really that spiritual gifted, or you're trying to do better for like everybody else, including yourself, like for the harm of none and the benefit of all, kind of thing, which is true though, right?
You got great sayings, man. The harm of none, benefit of all. I would just say try not to be an asshole. That sounds so much better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's an everyday practice, not to be an asshole though, but
it's tough.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you have to go through that hard experiences and like that depressive states, so you can go back into these karmic, like healing of all these stuff that you did before, to understand like, this all lessons gonna give me a better vision and a better practice in the future. So you're supposed to come out of it, like I told you. I'm literally grateful for every hardship I had, which some of them, guys, were horrible.
Yeah, no, that's a tough thing to say, because I think everyone can think about their life and say, hey, man, if only I could rewind
No, I
to when
wouldn't
I was
change-
23.
I wouldn't change anything.
You wouldn't change anything.
No.
Even if it would have made you healthier, wealthier.
Well, I couldn't be healthier though, but I mean wealthier.
Couldn't be healthier.
No.
I know, I'm just kidding. I'm giving you a hard time.
Sorry, but I got this on lock.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's three things, right?
Yeah.
It's money, health, and wealth, which is family and loved ones and stuff like that. Come on, bro. No, everybody got more than that. Really?
No, I mean, most people struggle to ever get one.
What?
Of the three you named?
They don't have
Money,
family. They don't have
health,
kids.
and wealth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, everybody in general got two. That's why I'm tripping lately. That's why I'm trying to explain the knowledge that I got, because I think there is something is missing and there's a lot of lessons to be learned. And I'm an open book, an open cup too. Regardless what I do know, I always would like to hear better argument and better understanding, because that's the way of science. You have to question. And I think that's how my brain works, and your brain works too. Luckily, we have the same kind of thought pattern that is you got to question it until, that's what it is. You know? Yeah, pretty much.
No,
yeah.
I think what comes to mind is, hey, I've got very little answers, but I got a lot of questions, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And I've always found it frustrating people that just say, oh, life's very simple. I have the secret to life. And I'm just that sounds so tempting. It sounds so soothing.
What is their secret though?
I don't know. I mean, people always have their things, right?
That's true, yeah.
They'll say it so simply, but it's how do you just accept it, right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. Maybe people delude themselves, but
In a way.
yeah, in a way.
I think myself too. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I wanted to get into your three things: health, wealth, and what was the third one? Happiness, family.
Health, wealth, and financial, freedom.
So that's funny. So money and wealth are different to you.
Yeah, wealth is, of course,
Okay.
because collecting money is not wealth. Wealth is.
So you can have a lot of money but not be wealthy. So you can have a lot of money and be healthy but not wealthy. Can you have a lot of money, be healthy, have a family, and still not be wealthy?
No. If you got the family, that's the wealthy part.
Okay.
So wealthy is a community, is the people around you, how many people love you and support you, how many people are on your team, how much people that would literally go above and beyond to just because they do appreciate who you are, because you give them more value than they ever would imagine to give you. So that makes an understanding. We even feel the same thing when somebody been so high in a different thing, and they have that authority, and they're always being kind to the lower people. It's there's two kinds. There's the people is gonna he's gonna treat me like this because he's weak, and this is gonna get fired or eliminated pretty quick. And there's the people who are gonna appreciate that, right? The people are why is he being so kind? I feel embarrassed, right? I feel I owe this guy something, even though he didn't ask you for anything. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, those types of people are rare.
That's wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's funny. You have some interactions with them, right? I'm going through a lot of interview processes right now. And I'd say 90% of the people you talk to, you can tell that they're just going through a process, or they're hitting numbers, right?
Yeah.
And it's that you'll answer their question, and then you can tell that they in some cases just weren't even listening.
Yeah, because they understand.
They're just trying to move on to the next thing. And it's okay.
What's the next question? Yeah.
But I've had a couple opportunities to talk to a couple of people where I was wow, this person actually maybe closed their eyes on the phone, or put the resume down. We act,
He doesn't know who I am, guys. It's what is your name? It was excuse me.
No. I'm saying this in a good way, where I've had a couple of interactions that are interviews of a sense, right? Where I could actually tell that the person was just having a conversation with me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes,
yeah. Get personal.
The context was actually this job.
Genuine, yeah.
And that they worked at this place and they're looking for someone to do this job. But it helped, because I don't want to approach I can say the things you want me to say. I mean, we all know how to do that. We all do that,
yeah.
But I would prefer not to do that, right? And it's nice when you can have that conversation with someone about okay, I know why I'm here. I know why you're here. let's like actually discuss it at a deeper level. And it's nice when you run into them in the world, because you can go about your day-to-day life and not really have a real conversation with anyone.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
100%. I agree with you.
You could probably not even have to talk to anyone for like a week if you didn't want to.
Well, yeah.
You could go grocery shopping, you could go to work, you could do everything and never actually have to have a conversation.
This is sad. I never thought of it that way.
Isn't it wild though?
It is wild. Yeah, it is wild. It is definitely wild, and it's definitely wild that you cannot. So that's the hilarious part that I find is like not only not talking to any person or like people at all because you don't want to, right? You're so selfish and obsessed and like narcissistic or whatever, and the people you talk to, the people from dating apps,
they don't even want to talk to you either. But they want to talk to you, but they don't want to actually have a conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can
be culture, brother.
You can have so many friends but be so alone, you know?
Yes, sir. That's true.
Yeah, it's baffling.
And friends are the worst. Not all friends, but most friends you consider friends around you are really the worst. It's just because of a couple of things. Number one,
names.
Not you.
Not you.
I said there is a lot of friends. You're not one of them. Yeah. So there is core friends, which is not supposed to be like generally for any psychology. We talk about this, and me personally, I looked at it too. Like what is really my core group? Like the people I would call or hit, or like they would be right there to rush me, to help me, and they know I would do the same for them too.
Yeah,
is like less than 5 to 10 people.
Yeah,
it shouldn't go more than that because it just dissipates. Like it doesn't have value.
Yeah, I don't think you can keep up on that level with more.
Yeah, it's true. But so that's core friends, right? But you have like 200 friends, 300 friends, people you work out with, people you work with, people you go to like do stuff with like in archery class or whatever. So you meet a lot of people, right? But the thing is, what I found is pretty interesting. When they see you, creating your own path. It's okay.
Yeah, you're good. I'm just burping a little bit.
These people are the first people to actually be jealous of you. More than people who do not know you. So, and not only be jealous of you, they try to put you down, they try to destroy you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's mind-boggling to me. I know how to handle that, but I would throw around like whatever the plans is that I'm doing, because literally, man, I've been trying to tell every person I know my whole life how they should live their life, or like what good shit they should do. Should do. And then I was like, what about you, bitch? Like, I guess you're right. And it's like the same story. Like I met God or like myself when I was 33. I'm 34 right now. And I was like, hello, where were you? And it was like, where were you? It was like, yeah, you're right. I was following my dick. You're right. It was like, it's like, I know what I were. Yeah. So it's like, fair point. I was away because I was following that body, that avatar, that like physical extension of me, not really focusing on what's my purpose and position in this world to help people and to actually have a unique skill or pattern to actually have an effect among a lot of people. And the more I denied that, the more I took the selfish route, the more I took like worldly pleasures. It's like, which is like whatever every guy goes through, It's just like, girls, drugs, whatever it is. We've all been through this, And then you come out of it, you're just trying to understand your value, and it was like, there is no value anymore. Like, yeah, because what you did was not valuable, So it's like, it's normal to feel that way. And it takes a while for you to understand that, okay, I am that, and that's the switch. And like, it's like everything is not my fault, so like, oh shit, it is my responsibility. It's like, oh no, I didn't know that. It's like, so you're taking ownership for everything that your life is like happening right now for you, and you're being very responsible about it, and of course, like the prodigal son returns.
Yeah.
That's how I felt at 33. Yeah, which is also, by the way, the where Jesus risen again, quote unquote, from the dead. But that's usually what psychologists would say. It's like usually the age of men maturing is early 30s, and it was a very difficult path for me, brother. You know,
Yeah.
got a restraining order. It was like insane. I went through a very difficult part of my life alone. I live here alone. There's some circumstances that happened to me in my life that had to push me here. You know, I couldn't be with my family. It's not safe for me to be home. I don't have anywhere else to go, and I had to deal with all this aggressive, violent, toxic things, which is supposed to teach you a lesson, but by myself, you know, I had no support system. I was my own support system, which is good because we're both like have the heart, so you're good. Yeah. So, and that's very rare though. Like if I were any other energy type, like 100%, I would like throw myself off a bridge or something.
Yeah. Let's not go there. But
Yeah.
no,
I'm joking.
Being alone's hard, even if there's nothing going on, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But no, not really. I enjoy my time alone, though. I never found the idea of you want another partner until they add value to you, like at an older stage. It was like, I want another partner because they're beautiful, because they fuck right, because they're, you know, whatever they are, they're the baddest bitch or whatever you know, ego, not true. Looking at the soul and the other being in front of you, yeah.
No, that makes sense. I think I was always an oddity growing up, especially with my guy friends, because I really didn't care that much about girls. I mean, obviously I did, right? I've always been attracted to them and everything. But
what didn't resonate as like, it wasn't like the goal.
Especially in high school, it's like, why would I want to go spend a bunch of time with her? Like, it's not as fun as hanging out with you.
Yeah, bro. I was the same thing, bro.
Yeah, but occasionally you do find a girl where you're like, I want to spend a ton of time with her. I don't care what we're doing, right? So I was always of that mind, right? And I feel like people, maybe guys and girls, but I'd see it mostly in my friends.
I'm talking about my experience, though.
But yeah. In your experience, like maybe you were kind of chasing girls too much, right?
No, I wasn't chasing girls too much, but again, it came like from a vacuum of like not understanding where my place was. I had this immense knowledge and power at a very young age, 23 years old, out of pharmacy school, 21, you know, best fucking physical shape ever, you know. So it's like at 3, and I was living with my family, and that what God was like, nope. Like what? Yeah. So the abrupt situation happened, and I was stripped away.
What was the abrupt situation? You don't have to talk about it.
No, it's okay. I came from a Middle Eastern country. I don't want to identify. And there was some group of people that actually murdered my friend, and I survived. And wasn't supposed to survive. Like I got set by like over 7 physician neurosurgeons. It's like, dude, this is a medical miracle. You're alive.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's pretty wild. I'm making a video about my story. You know, I'm putting like the whole CAT scan of my skull, and like what is my journey, and why I want to do this, why I want to approach more people and have this conversation. And just I collected a lot of knowledge, pharmacy school, fitness since I was 7 years old. So and I'm always been like my own lab rat. So any diet, any program, any fad, anything that comes up, I am the guy who's like, okay, I'm going to apply it to myself and see carnivore works or not, and keto works or not. And 6 meals a day, it works, but it's going to make you a fucking hungry bitch the whole day. You're going to feel the worst because it have like that insulin response. And without that, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of, I wouldn't be who I am pretty much. But then I found myself, okay, I'm multidimensional. I have an immense knowledge about fighting. I have an immense knowledge about like health, which is pharmacy, school. And I have an immense knowledge about fitness and diet. And I was like, why don't I help people to reach like this happy medium where you're not trying to be anything else? You're just doing what is good for you, your energy type, your soul, your experience. What kind of elements where you would have the most valuable experience for yourself, like the optimal, life experience. Because some people need to eat more than others. There's nothing like
one size fits all.
That's what I found the hard way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and it took me a while to understand that. It's like, come on, basic metabolic rate is this. I burn this. How come I'm eating protein and getting fat? This doesn't work.
Yeah, well, I think everyone likes to believe that there's like one way, right? Like,
correct, yeah.
Like if you want to be the best investor ever, you need to figure out what Warren Buffett understands.
Yeah, no.
And it's like very a unique way that he does it, you know. And if you emulate that, you'll probably have some degree of success.
Yeah.
But that's what works for him. You know, what might work for you might be different. You need to find your own way, and you need to borrow from others, but make your own, you know. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I have a lot of value to give, and I'm not looking for anything.
Well, it sounds like you had a real like break point in your life. Like there
was
which one?
Well,
maybe
there's one every 7 years. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a cycle.
I don't know, but it's no. No, it's not. Yeah, it's not 7. No, I'm joking. Yeah, go ahead.
But if there was like a physical one, right, where you had surgery, that's a very that's a very severe like before and after, and most people never have that in their life.
Yeah, flatlined.
Oh wow.
The ambulance guys came and they were like, "Oh my God, he's not alive." And my friend was like, "Guys, he's having like this last breath of air coming out of his voice." And I was like, you know, and they're like, "Okay." They woke me up, and once I woke up, I started punching them because I had like this brain hemorrhage. You know, I couldn't really understand what was going on and kept throwing up. You know, everybody familiar with brain hemorrhage? It's just that's the first side effects that you face when you go through like internal bleeding in your brain. And then it was so aggressive that they had to cut open and like stop the bleeding and tie the skull back together, and it's not even a fully thing back. But the thing is, I learned, because before that, bro, I was a tyrant. Like I was 23 at that time, but I mean, again, like I was saying, it is more of like God killing the ego in me. In a very aggressive way, by the way, because I was like, I don't know, I grew up with a supportive family. I had a good education. I was in amazing like health or physical shape. I was very strong. So what else do you want in this life? Why are we here as souls or like entities?
Too fast, too early.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's like, okay, reset. It's like, so I had to like lose everything, be alone, stranded. It's like, why, God?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you're probably in the hospital a long time, right?
The hospital
Which is an
took like
place.
3 weeks and 6 months of like physical rehabilitation and stuff, because you know the right side of your brain control the left side of your body, left side of your brain control the right side of your body. So I was walking with like a cane for over 6 months until I developed like balancing and like nerve endings and push-ups and air squats and one legs and stuff like that. And then was able to recover. In 6 months, I looked like this. I'm going to put the picture. I'm going to show it to you later. It's bomb ass. Yeah, I'm going to show before and after 6 months after the surgery, bro. I was like, let's go.
Getting back to it.
Yeah, let's go. Because at this point, I figured out that this was intentional murder and they're coming back for me and my family going to be in danger. So I had to like, okay, I got to be the strongest I can be because I'm going to a different country and I don't know what the fuck to expect, you know, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So yeah, that was like the kind of motivator for me to like turn it around. And then I came here, it took a couple of years, and I transferred my degree. And then after that, I tried to do better with like, honestly, like finishing the hours, the intern hours that I needed. And that's where it comes back to, that wasn't my passion really. And the practice that I was doing. And why? Because I chose it because of my ego shadow, you know, like generally when you're talking about...
Because you'd get the social credibility from that job.
Thank you.
And it, you know, it would demonstrate that you had put in that work, right?
Or you had that value, yeah.
Or you had that value, or you had that knowledge, but you had that knowledge without that.
And that's what I didn't know before. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because all knowledge are within you. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got so many good sayings.
Mm.
No, that's great. I'm glad to hear a little bit more of your life story, because I feel like, you know, just hearing that much, you've probably lived more than most people do, right?
What do you mean?
Just hearing more about your life story and how you got here and why you're at this pivot point, because I think me and you met on that same pivot point. We were both just after realizing, like, hey, I don't know if that's the thing for me, like, and questioning, you know.
What I've been told is correct or not.
Yeah.
What is going on around me? Is that true or not true?
Mm-hmm.
What is true?
Yeah.
Oh, and that's a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the more layers you get to what is true, the more you understand what is not true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I think the more you think, the more questions you have, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. Well, so how did you develop your, you know, out of what you were? Because it sounds like you had a very serious break point of who you were and in what context you lived, and you came out here, which is, you know, I've only have the California perspective. I've born and raised here.
Mm-hmm.
So what was that like coming to California or America in general, and knowing who you were, where you're from, but not necessarily thinking you would ever go back?
I didn't know, man. I came here when I was 25, and I really didn't know.
Did you know anyone here from home?
No.
You didn't know anyone from home here.
Mm-hmm.
So what was like your closest? What would give you the most feeling of home? Like,
because of them, it's just more of like the mentality kind of thing.
mm-hmm.
They're more into the matrix
Yeah.
than other people. I swear to God.
No, I mean, I don't know.
They speak about religion, but they're more into the matrix because it's all come out of like, oh, you gotta look good, you gotta be good. It's like, for who, bitch?
Always fashionable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I don't mean always fashionable. It's like, you gotta act good, you gotta do good. For who?
Mm-hmm.
For people to talk about you or for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that they never explain the idea of energy and like consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to do this because God told you to do this. If you didn't, you gotta go to hell. It's like, yeah. It's like, what?
Yeah.
What?
There's never doing something inherent in itself, like, or having
What is
more
the
of a
reasoning?
internal reasoning.
Yeah.
It's all,
why this is bad?
yeah. I think I mean, Christians are the same way, right? Like,
No, but
Christians want to be
it's religion,
seen as
muted
being good
at
Christians.
the same way, yeah.
They care a lot about appearing to be very Christian. You know, if there's something happens to someone in the community, they don't want to go help to actually help. They just want to go help so that everyone else knows that they helped, that they weren't the only ones that didn't do something, right?
But isn't that driving us more to the ego principle of who we are and like the gratitude we have from others to like massage our own egos and make us feel self-worthy because our value comes from the community and society around us, not from us, where it's supposed to be from us, not the community and society around us.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. I think about examples in my life, right? Like my dad and one of my uncles in particular.
Mm-hmm.
They, you know, growing up, I was always like, man, you're like helping people fix things for free. Like, you go to work, you do your job, and then someone else needs help because their car broke down or their hot water heater's broken, and they would go over there and just help them. And they were, you know, they would be the people they would call because they know that neither my dad nor my uncle would say no, and they would always come over and help, and they wouldn't ask for anything, right?
Yeah.
And I always, growing up, I was like, you know, why don't people take care of their own shit? You know,
it's counterproductive.
Yeah, I was like, well, you know, where were you when we needed help? You know,
that's true. Yeah.
And I just always felt like they were getting taken advantage of, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then knowing, like, getting older and knowing my like dad and my uncle, they truly believe that, like, if you're not helping other people, right, then what are you doing? And they were neither of them like religious. Neither of them cared that anyone knew, but everyone knew. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting, and they're very okay with like, you know, they would be very okay with like, well, I mean, if they're using me, that's whatever, you know, but I gotta be open to help people no matter what. You know what I mean? But they weren't, neither of them would describe themselves as Christians or religious.
Which is amazing. They didn't have that ego perspective of themselves, but they have the concept of like, if people are using me, then why am I here for? It's exactly for people to use me, you know? So there's benefit of me around with my expertise and knowledge and talents, like I was saying. It's like the beautiful, amazing, correct concept that they had.
And just like just matter of fact, right? Like I remember learning about Stoicism, which is a, you know, ancient Greek philosophy. And I remember reading that and I was like, oh, like this is my dad and my uncle. Like they wake up and they know that they need to do a job and they need to make something, and that's just the condition of man, and that they need to do things they need to do so they can do the things they want to do, but they can't be like possessed by the things that they want. You know? So I, you know, like the things, they never want vacations. Neither of them wanted like fancy cars, right? Like even my dad, right? If he could have like, he loved cars, always did, worked on them. But I think even if he won the lottery, I don't think he would go out and buy all the cars he wanted. Because it wouldn't, he doesn't really want it, right? He bought an old Mustang that's all beat up and he's fixing it up. But he'll probably never finish it because I don't think he wants it to be pretty and done, you know?
Yeah, because that makes sense. You know why?
Why?
Because the beauty is in the journey.
Yeah.
So it's not for them to have that car. It's for them to get that beat-ass car and work on it so it gets better every time they try to do something on it. And it's the journey. Because once you have that car, it's like, it's boring.
No, that's 100% it. Yeah, if he ever finished that car, like it's basically done except for the outside.
I'd sell it probably.
Yeah, no, he would. He would sell it.
He missed the journey. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, by the time he got it, like he basically did everything that could make it run the way he wanted to run. It's been done. And like since it's like in good running shape and has like the motor that he more or less wants. He has the suspension, the brakes, the rims and tires. That's all done. The interior, beat to hell. You know, the exterior is like still in primer colors and has body damage still. And he's just not interested. You know what he's doing now? He's buying like motorcycles that he gets in baskets. They're not even put together. He's like into motorcycles now. And he's I think
the mountain motorcycles?
Like dirt bikes.
Oh, dirt bikes,
but old ones, you know. And I think he's like put 3 or 4 of them together by now. And by the time they're basically done,
by the summer,
he'll never paint anything.
Like 20.
Yeah, nothing will ever have a paint job, right?
Really?
It'll get to where like it works and it runs.
Wow, functional.
It does its function, and then and then he's over it. Like his car sits in the garage, and basically that's where they put their groceries, or like that's where he puts like just random stuff. It's more of a shelf than a car at this point because he's done. He doesn't care about it looking nice, you know.
And it runs good. He did his job,
Yeah, but he always has that, the excuse. Well, I could go get the body work done and paint it, but that'd be like $3 or $4 grand. I don't know. I don't have that kind of money. They do have that money, but he just doesn't see the value in it.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. Well, I told you why, the journey.
Dude, same thing with my uncle. You know, he wears white T-shirts and Levi jeans, and all of his T-shirts are stained and have holes in them. You know what I mean?
That's good.
He drove the same truck forever, man, forever. Yeah. Didn't give a crap, never cares. But he's a good dude. He doesn't care what people think of him, but everyone thinks generally good things of him. Or people that know anything think.
Of course, because they provide more value.
Yeah, he provides value to everyone around him. He takes care of the lady across the street. He looks after his neighbors. He doesn't do anything wrong. He gives more than he gets, right?
100%.
And it's interesting, in life, especially for me, because I've always been more, they would call me more educated, right? I got my bachelor's degree and my master's degree.
Yeah.
And I think about all these things, but the more and more I think about it is they just, they're blue collar guys.
They got it right.
They have a better understanding.
Yeah, that's the one.
Without doing all this searching. They did all their searching and thinking in the day to day. It's
interesting, right?
It is very interesting, right? Like they're much more intelligent than I am. But most people wouldn't think that way.
Yes, most people would think that way, and I think there is different concepts and times we all like raise to these awareness. We all like have this better understanding of who we are, what is our value, what is our like mission or purpose in life, which is to help others, believe it or not, spread love, wish good among other human being or mankind as it is to you, man, because I know it's not difficult, but we're all part of the same thing, guys. We're all part of consciousness, we're all part of the same soul, God. We're all connected in a way or another, more than if you believe it or not, or if you deny it or not. It's a fact, unfortunately. And the more you think that the person in front of you, or like people or society is like, they're judging me, and it's like, that's completely the wrong way.
Yeah.
And they got it right, and it's so amazing that they did, though.
No, that's sorry I didn't get to bring it all the way back, but that makes me think of you, right? Like you came over here, you said you didn't know anyone, and you've been on that journey, and you've kind of had that kind of awakening or that new conscious moment. What was it like? What was your way? How did you find your way to that?
So the way that I found consciousness,
or did it find you?
Yeah, obviously it is. Well, it's also very interesting. There is a different answers for this, but like different like angles to go towards the same thing. So I'm gonna try to do my best to like combine them, or like give you a better idea. So I grew up as a Muslim, right? I never drank a drink till I was 30, and then was out a group of people, and I got my first drink, vodka Red Bull, and I was.
Did you like it?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And the first time I got a buzz, I was like, oh my fucking God. They've been lying to me my whole fucking life. They're telling me alcohol is bad. You're going to get like wasted. You're going to be homeless. You're going to use your whole friends. You're not going to have a job. You're not going to have a career. Like, bro, this is bullshit. Why I waited 30 years to feel this fucking amazing buzz? And then, well, obviously people can get addicted to it, but that's a different story. So it came from there. It's like, so what else I know that is not, what else I know is true. Not what else I know is not true.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing.
Yeah.
I like to flip the table. It's like, what else I know is true.
All these things that I think are obvious. Which ones aren't actually obvious?
And bro, once I started this path, I've been like career, relationships, finances, understanding society, understanding culture. Every time I would go there, and my question would be, what did I wish for? Is it true? And I'm like, no, it's not. You wanted to be with the hottest whatever girl. Is it true? Is that what you really wanted? It's like, no. Think about your career. Is that what you wanted to be? What you can provide? Well, no, that's not what I want. What about finances? Like, what are you doing other than this thing that you don't like in the first place, and it's compiling your potential and your best efforts into this like fucking box?
Yeah.
No. So it's like, okay, God, I got it. It's like, thank you so much. It was a painful path though, but thank you so much. It is more of like what I thought I knew more than what I thought I didn't know. So I had to unlearn. Was more important for me to learn new things, because I learned a lot of shit, I had a lot of education. I have been around in different parameters of life and concepts and beliefs. It's funny to say that as 25 years old or whatever. But the process of growing up just showed me, man, that is like, I really do know nothing about anything.
Yeah. That's the humble thing to say.
It is the truth, though.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody can say anything else.
No, I think you're right. you sound dumb sounding humble, right? Or at least that's what people think you'll sound.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And that's also the beauty of it. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I agree. I think I have a lot of the similar thoughts, right? You know, my background, I got a degree in economics, both bachelor's and master's. And
beautiful.
My takeaway from that is like all these people saying they know what's going to happen and they know what we need to adjust. So
Be
that
the
this
best
is better.
hedge fund guy. You're gonna be on the yacht in New York celebrating. What's up? You know,
Yeah.
it's Dillan with the financier. I know, bro. It's
It doesn't make any sense. Or the people that think they understand everything. It's like, do you really? You know, like, or can you just tell a better story using more complicated words? You know. I don't know. That's
no,
but
do you
the
really?
same thing,
Just
right?
killed
That's
me,
like
right?
yeah.
Do you really understand?
Yeah. No, I mean it. But that's
so genuine. It's true.
It is. It
Because
is.
some people like just talk stupid.
They have so much faith.
BS.
So
like
much
nonstop BS.
Yeah. There's people. Yeah. It baffles me how bought in people are, right, into like whatever they think. And I guess I'm being bought into the way I think right now too, right?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like I'm bought into the idea that I don't think that other people don't realize how much they're bought into what they think.
Yeah, but again, I'm not focused about it. You're not focused about other people because that's the healthy part of it. You're focused about your part and how you can give more to the community or society or the or like the collective conscious around you. What is the value you provide? So I'm not really worried about them because you're not talking to them though. They're egos.
Yeah.
The devils, which is ego. Ego is a devil, and it's in every one of us. So I'm not really worried about them.
Yeah.
I'm worried about me, which is, and it's weird to say, and I swear to God, I've been the guy who's worried about people more than himself my whole life. And this is like a swift of mind that I don't even feel that I'm selfish or anything. I feel that's the first time I'm taking a healthy step towards me, you know? Instead of like wanting these people to do 1, 2, 3, like, well, bro, just walk it, you know?
Yeah.
That's it. They follow. The ones who follow is the one who have the same thing, and that's it. Just do your own thing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about other people. Don't try to lecture other people. I just tried to do my own thing, man. And honestly, once I figured out like my potential, my skills, and my capabilities, and I was able to direct it in one place or one spot.
But yeah, I think knowing yourself is the hard thing, right?
That's all
And
knowledge,
then, you know, it almost sounds selfish, right? You know,
knowing
if you focus,
yourself?
like, well, kind of what we're talking about is like you got to figure yourself out, you know?
Yeah.
That it sounds like a very selfish thing to say, but you do have to figure yourself out. Otherwise, like, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah.
Like, you can focus on helping other people all the time, but if you don't have any sense of self and you're just blindly helping people, are you really doing much for them? You know?
Yeah. You don't have authority because you haven't achieved what they couldn't. And then when you try to tell them to do something, well, it's like, we all been there. Trying to tell them to do something they did. It's like, why didn't you do it? You know, I was like, okay, you got it. So watch me. You know? Pretty much.
I think it's easier to like point out someone else's flaws than your own.
Yeah. You got to work your walk. You got to walk that walk. You got to find the challenges. You're going to get better in every step. Because you weren't really a believer, you know? And there's like no hate against anyone. It's just like, this is a way for the conscious to tell you that it is some people supposed to be around you regardless what you do. You know? And some people are going to always try to suck your energy, try to keep you down, try to doubt you, try to talk shit, try to make you feel insecure, you know? And these people try to evade him at all costs, even running from negative energy, like sprinting away from people who are negative or like... talking like social crap or like, you know, like that, you know, the locker room talk or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? I go to gym a lot. That's why it's actually on point.
Yeah.
So it just like, you know, it doesn't matter. I know my value, and the people who will come or who a believer or who would want to change their life or just surface up. The people who are jealous like everyone else, okay, join the club. I don't have a spot for you. Even when they come, they say, I want to do what he do. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
So even telling them I'm going to take 50%, it's going to make them less motivated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they have no motivation. They just want to be like you.
Yeah.
They don't know their own purpose. They don't know their own goal.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's hard to define yourself without like seeing other people value you. But I think that's the most powerful thing is kind of where you're at.
Yeah.
Is that you're comfortable with what you are and what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And you know kind of who you are and what you're trying to be.
Yes, sir.
That you don't care about what like you don't have to have it
I care
validated.
about. Of course, I care about people, but I don't
No,
care
but you
about their
don't-
egos or opinions because it's not their life. It's my
You
life.
don't need their validation, right?
Oh, not at all.
Yeah, that's an insecure thing. Is
Not
when
at
you need
all.
that social validation.
Well, I try to go for it by going to a medical school,
Mm-hmm.
by trying to look as whitewashed as possible, but trying to like whatever. I'm joking, but it was just
No.
like trying to get like I'm more accustomed. It was just it didn't work for me, man. I didn't find my value in these stupid shits.
Because you weren't being you.
Yeah, God bless you, bro. I weren't being me, and that's really what happened, and it's just killing me every day, man. And I couldn't take it.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it was like this is too much. I'm fed up.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, I was like, no. I don't know how much I can be this person that you're asking me to be, and how far it is from myself, from my values, from my beliefs, from my potential, which is insane. I started having like physical like diseases and shit. My knee, my elbow started hurting. Why? Because you're like
Dude,
putting
same
your-
thing. Yeah,
putting yourself
I
in
was
jail.
waking up in the middle of the night and I thought it was stuff I was eating. I couldn't fucking figure it out, dude. I was waking up hella early in the morning or the middle of the night and like just having to throw up. And I was like, fuck, this is so annoying.
What
So
is that?
Yeah, what is going on? So I, tried to cut everything out of my diet or like thought it was that. Or I was like, okay, maybe it's the fucking coffee. I'll stop the coffee.
Yeah,
Dude,
I don't
you're
know.
just searching for all these like external things until I just realized that, anytime I thought about it, it was because I was doing shit I didn't want to do,
Yeah.
And I felt like I had to do the things that I didn't want to do so I could do the things that I wanted to do, and that I would be on this path forever of having to, be an actor, present a authentic, fake version of myself.
In your real life.
Yes.
And it's that.
I had to be an actor, Yeah, and that it's not fun,
You don't have to fulfill your higher heightened awareness potential. You have to fulfill your body useful energy as like, oh, you got to work for 8 hours. You're going to get paid this. I'm talking about America. I'm talking about my personal experience.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like I had to go through the whole idea of like experiencing this minimum wage, experiencing this suffering, experience this like the worst kind of like place to be in a corporate position ever. I mean, if I had a better job, maybe I wouldn't recognize it better.
Yeah.
But again, I'm saying thankful for my like tests and journeys because it added to me to know who I am.
Yeah.
And I was never able to do that if I would like had a comfy job, a good pussy, and like I wasn't bored and like looking for a mortgage and shit,
Yeah.
Dumb fool, young me, yeah.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense with me. That's my worry, is that I think a lot of people sleepwalk through life, and I worry that I'll do the same, and one day you just wake up and are like, what the hell? And by then it's too late.
No, it's never too late though, but
Yeah.
that's also the part of it. And also, like I said, we were talking earlier, and I was trying to tell Dylan that I'm 34, and I was like, dude, why couldn't I know this at 23?
Yeah, I think that kind of thing all the time. Yeah.
I feel the same.
Yeah, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't. It's never like.
But you didn't though.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? Let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
It's funny too, because when you think about that, and anyone listening, when you think about, if I could go back in time, I think most of us are going to think, I wouldn't do this, or I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. But you
it's-
have no knowledge to do which one.
Exactly. But even when I think about going back in time, it's to erase mistakes. It's never to. It's
Do
never
better.
to do something else. You
Really?
know. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is to do better, but it's like, I think about it as I wish I could go back in time to not, like, waste my time at this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's where you have a much healthier thought, is like you view that as like tuition. Like that's a price you paid to get to where you're at. Or I think of like, yeah, I can't believe I wasted so much time on X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
I think your way of thinking is a lot healthier.
I don't know. I mean, it's definitely from a lot of research and a lot of scholars and a lot of mentors and a lot of therapists and a lot of psychedelics, but in general, I came to terms with I'm not really like fuck it, I'm not being me. I'm not happy anymore. Why the fuck was I doing something I don't like in the first place? And once I took away like the whole tests and understood the reasons why I'm always been in a toxic relationship, different persons.
Yeah.
Why I always been in this shit. I was like, it's all in my head, right? And then when you understand that, okay, I'm not this body, I'm not this ego, I'm not this guy, and I'm part of the soul of God, and I wanna deliver that love, that constant, giving, that intentional choice of giving love every single time I can.
That way you can receive it.
Well, I'm not looking for receiving it. That's the beauty about it.
No, but you want to give it in good faith so that when you do get it, you feel good about it.
Yeah. But you know what? The speck of unexpected love is much, much, much more worthy to me than like expecting someone to give you love.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that makes sense. Yeah, the
But
unexpected.
it make me tear up.
Yeah.
I swear to God. Like, why? Why are you being nice to me? Why are you like being kinder to me? When I was going through shit, I was like, there is something.
It makes you so uncomfortable. I know exactly what you can think.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
hear what you're saying.
Oh shit. There's
a
something
couple of
I'm not understanding. Yeah, there's a couple people that's so grounded, and thank God for you guys. Like, and it's amazing that only by the kindness of people that you're like you reflect on yourself is like what I'm not understanding. Why I'm always in this like burning fire inside of me is like there's some shit gotta be turned up, or like, it's like what is
gotta make some change.
Yeah, or like why I'm always like this frustrated is like because there's no flow of energy, man. The energy is just like doesn't have a channel to go out. You have these emotions, you have these like reaction toward what you've been through, but at the same time your energy is locked. Because you think of yourself as just this physical being, and how does energy will be released in like the hermetic principle or existence is in the mental first. So if you're thinking better about yourself, you're going to see people reacting to you differently. The other practical step for it, because your attitude would be bad, so people will react towards you bad also. But regardless, so it's all existence is mental, and when you go through the different parts of your journey and understand that it wasn't them or wasn't anybody in the per se, it was me. It was me doing that suffering to me. But what was the point? I had a lack of experience in a lot of shit. And how could I learn? Pain.
Yeah.
I'm very sad to say that, because I know some people like it get very bad for them, and they think about like doing detrimental thing or harming themselves or others, and that's part of why I started this, because I went through the worst part of my life, and a lot of people were dying at the same time, 18 to 49 overdose and shit like that. And I was, dude, I went through this alone. I had no support system. I had no like benefit, and I had to like parent my mind by myself. And I was like, okay, these sounds legit concepts that I came up with, right? Because I discussed it with you. I discussed with a lot of people, And I was like, so why not to share these concepts? Because for me, depression and anger and like frustration and feeling not good about myself, or like not able to share who our value to the society is, pretty much was. I'm not thinking of who I really am, or my potential, or my value of understanding of these concepts. My thoughts, how can I control it? It's like you are not your thoughts. Like when first time I heard that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It just went in and out, bro.
Yeah, I think we all heard that a bunch. It's still hard. It's something to.
What do you mean I'm not my thoughts? Well, I'm thinking about it. So
Mhm.
it's what I'm thinking about. I was so ignorant. It was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
It's insane, bro. How much the graciousness of like the collective and like God love you to be able to nurture you to that different levels and steps in your life,
Mm-hmm.
that when you reach a certain level of heightened because you just do what you understand better now, right? It's not because you have any special abilities or nothing happened. It's just you tried whatever you thought was right, and then it showed you that that's not the right way. It's like, oh, okay, so I'm trying to do better with the
Mm-hmm.
knowledge I got, and it changes the perception of who you are, not only to yourself but like to existence. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's just like, imagine we are like this powerful entities and being just came here for the 3D experience, and the test and the collective experience between us is
Mm-hmm.
like what increases the collective conscious, which is, you know, God and stuff like that. But when we get busy with the avatar that we're playing with, right? And when we get busy with that CJ in San Andreas, you know, when we get busy with that thing that is
Dash
playing,
the character in Sims.
dash the character in Sims till 23. Well, till 33, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dash was the guy who go to gym, always had the hot pitch, always was like that shit, you know. Fuck, you know, that's who I was. That's how I grew up to be. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
like what is it to be the best? It's like, I'll go to this hardest fucking school. Done.
Yeah.
Fight the baddest fucking people. Done. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like what the fuck is else? You know, it's just, and this also primes your ego to not understand who you are, which is so strange.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're young, you're easy to do that because it's all like fall in your hand, if you just go for it. But that's not who I am. I learned that the God, the soul, the conscious we have just gave you this, chose this body for a special
Mm-hmm.
mission to help others, which is like to spread love,
Mm-hmm.
but chose this body and this person and this name for a special reason. So God chose this avatar, which is not you, it's not me, like this body, whatever. It's not who we are, though. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's called thyself. You know, it's not really who we're supposed to be worried about. You know, it's not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah. Skin and bones.
Yeah, flesh suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. And once I understood that, I understood like I'm a more of like a higher being, and my reason here is through gifts from God, which I was able to find and dilute and put into a practice into a specific place, and try to help to have a medium of helping a lot of people to understand the same concepts, to know how to channel energy better. Everything started making sense. You
Yeah.
know, it felt better, felt amazing. I'm not looking forward to not wake up tomorrow. I don't know who is between me and my goal. No one. It's
Yeah.
that clarity finally, man, and it's just it's so painful to get there, but again, I'm grateful because I wouldn't get there without that pain, you know.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. It's a lot nicer to think that there's someone stopping you from what you want.
Really?
I think so. It's more comforting that I can't achieve X because Y is in the way. You
Uh-huh.
know, whether that's the company or the boss or the friends that are holding you back,
Oh
or
yeah.
it's liberating to think that you can do what you want,
Yeah, man, you
but it's
gotta.
also scary.
Yeah, because it's a lonely road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it is a lonely road. But that's again the strongest are who you are by yourself.
mm-hmm.
If you're,
And then finding people that are willing to walk their journey with you, right?
but it's true but that comes back when you build something, right?
Yeah.
But the whole journey from who we are until I build or we build or whatever
Mm-hmm.
any person want to build their own path, that takes you walking by yourself for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like most of these kids, you know, like
You have to get lost to find yourself, right?
you have to take that leap of faith. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you have to like. I'm not. I used to say like whatever. No, it's not like thank you for your advice,
Mm-hmm.
but your advice is ego biased, and based on like, you know,
Your experiences.
Mhm.
And yeah.
And I'm speaking from spiritual, all love to human beings. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna do my thing.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
I
and
think-
nothing because at this point, bro, I'm just too extreme of a person. I'd rather die, man. Because what's the point? It's like what the fuck? It's like if you want me to live behind the counter talking to people who's cussing at me all the time, it's like death is better. It's actually more honorable.
Yeah.
See where I'm at right now?
No, I've had those same thoughts, right? Like if you did all the things that you needed to do to achieve the life that you think you wanted, you wouldn't be like happy anyway. So what's the fucking point, right?
Yes, because yes, regardless of the pay and everything, yeah, I would still feel the same, 100%.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it's a false target, right?
Because
It's
yes,
it's not something you actually want.
it's working for the reward, not doing what you love and giving love. You
Yeah.
see the difference? It's
Yeah.
doing something you don't like first for the reward. There's no fucking reward, bro. Didn't you see the deal of the devil? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
One fucking bite. And they went from having everything they want to like right now we have to grow and farm and like fucking wolves biting their asses and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
The deal of the devil is always a loss.
Yeah. No, I think, I mean, it's tough, right? Because you got to do some things you don't want to do.
But
You know, that's the way it is.
But what things you
But
don't
you have to be able to draw the line, right? You got to draw the line somewhere.
No, I want to understand. What things you think you're not supposed to do,
Okay.
but it's good for you spiritually.
Oh, spiritually, yeah.
Which is what you're supposed to follow. That's where your happiness come from.
Yeah. But if you're so focused on that, then you'll let everything else in life go, right?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, if you're only focused about the spiritual journey, you
Well,
can
yeah,
do
of
that
course.
in the you know,
You're gonna
sleeping
lose
in the street.
100%.
Yeah.
Because you have to be firm. The whole idea of you being spiritual is you connected to the source, but you can't just like release the fucking body. What is the point of you being in this earth,
Yeah.
though? Why are you here? What is the point if you're not experiencing being human every day with that understanding? Oh, I'm not a reactive mind. I'm not that animal. I'm
Mhm.
able to control the beast. But when someone is rude, I'm able to defend myself. And we took some time to understand that a lot of problems happening in my life is because I was holding myself back from that aggression when other people were displaying that aggression to me.
Yeah.
You know, because if I know, like right now, for example, if somebody would talk loud to me anymore in the pharmacy, I would go right to next ear. Like, you know, who are you talking to like that?
Yeah.
You know, because this is what is supposed to be done. And again, I wasn't doing it. I didn't know the boundaries. I didn't know the medium where I'm supposed to operate who I am. So
Mm-hmm.
it's applying. Sorry, oh well.
You're good.
It's applying all that experience and like just detaching from the reality a little bit, but
Mhm.
practicing it 100%. And the more you practice and like not being a reactive mind, the more you're following the purpose or like the true potential in you, the thing that you love to do, and practice being human every day, eating, sleeping, fucking working out, you know, all that's
Mhm.
beautiful stuff. Then that's 100%. You can't go there. You can't be only spiritual. And you
Mhm.
can be only like fucking going for like you have to have both.
Yeah.
Your spirit have to have a goal and you have to support it with the hard fucking work that is pain.
Mm-hmm.
Pain, brother. And that's normal. You don't feel that pain. Why? Because you're so fucking thrilled about what you're doing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know about you. When you were a kid, we would go to like Six Flags or some shit. I'm like, bro, I would like, before I sleep, I would put my whole like clothes, I would fold it, you know, on the
Mhm.
bed. And my dad would say, wake up at 6 a.m., 5:30, I'm up by
Yeah.
myself. No alarm at this time.
Ready to go.
Like wore my clothes,
Yeah.
showered by myself as a kid. I was like, dude, this is beautiful. Let's go.
You're
Right?
truly excited.
Yeah. Why? Because it's something you love to do.
Yeah.
But that's imagine living like this. Of course, it's not gonna be. They're gonna be different feelings, and you're supposed to let them surface. But imagine having that as
Great,
the major
beautiful way to
driving.
wake up every day like that, right?
Yeah, the major driver force is like I'm so excited to do my thing every day.
Yeah.
Of course, there's some shit gonna surface up, but that's like, dude,
That's the goal.
yeah.